Welcome back to the channel, guys, and in today's video we are going to have a look at some very interesting fighting cup battles. And I enjoyed fighting in fighting cup because I was able to play play in the style that I like, and that is to land hard hitting moves on the Pokemons. So this time we are using close combat on Shadow Machamp and Brave Bird on Sirfetch'd. So both of these moves hit pretty hard, and close combat even hits hard on something like a Toxic Rogue. So did I enjoy playing in the fighting cup? Yes. But do I recommend playing in that? I would say no, because there are a lot of Pokemons which are strong, and you may or may not have access to those. Something like Hakamo and Kommo-O. So I used these two Pokemons with Shadow Poliwrath, and Shadow Poliwrath is something that can handle both of those dragons, especially with access to Ice Punch. So yeah, I enjoyed playing in the fighting cup, but then when I had to when I felt like I had to climb a bit of elo, then I switched over to the Great League. But nevertheless, it's a very fun video. You'll see a lot of close combats and brave birds landing. That's a guarantee. So about the team, you may run this team, but if you want some coverage against something like Toxic Rogue, which is resisting those counters, you may run a Toxic Rogue of your own, or if you have access to something like Buzzwool or Jangmo, or sorry, not Jangmo, but Kommo-O, you can run that with this team. I feel like this will have a lot of synergy. So before we start with the battles, if you're new to the channel and you like our content, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. We are getting close towards those 1,000 subscriber mark, and if you want to support the channel, make sure to check that out. And if you want to send a hi or have a conversation with the community, make sure to join the Discord channel, whose link is in the description down below. So without further delays, let's start with the battles and see how the battle goes. So let's start with our first battle of the day, and the sets are misaligned. So this was actually my second set that I'm playing. The first set will be later on because this one went 4-1, and the IVs of the Pokemons is not correct in the visual. So I apologize for that. I forgot to edit those out. But the correct IVs, I'll mention those in the description box. So we were in a Sneasel Lead, and we were able to one-shot that with a Skull. So I think that was pretty amazing. So in comes this Jangmo. In comes this Combuscane, which I felt like was another very good pick, because I guess Combuscane has access to Peck, which will be super effective on our fighting type Pokemon. So a very interesting Pokemon from my opponent, and we were able to land the first close combat, which was barely enough to knock out the Toxic Rogue there. So yeah, two almost close to one hit KOs in the first video, and you know now why I placed this particular set first, and we are able to pull off the first win of the day. So yeah, GG's. Moving on to the next one, picking up a negative lead in the form of this Buzzwool, and Buzzwool is doing neutral damage to us, wherein we will be doing resisted damage with our mud shots. I mean, mud shots are not doing any sort of damage anyway, but Buzzwool takes a lot of damage with the Skull, and this may be a lunge or a superpower. I think I end up shielding this just in case it ends up being a superpower, but it was not. It was just a power punch. So very good bait from my opponent. I did not know that Buzzwool has access to those to that power punch as well. I am planning to make a Buzzwool for myself when the GoFest overall event starts, like the global event. So we are in this matchup now, and I think this is the cross chop or this is a close combat. So I go for this this hard hitting move, and the Pokemon vanishes. So in comes this Kommo-O. So Kommo-O is doing a massive amount of damage with those Dragon Tails, but Sirfetch'd, I think even though the Leaf Blade is resisted, it will still do a lot of damage onto this Kommo-O, because it's a very frail Pokemon in the Great League. So we are able to land this. We will be able to land this Leaf Blade onto the Kommo-O, which is enough to knock out that. And Sirfetch'd is probably one of my favorite Pokemon. So Sirfetch'd as well as Shadow Machamp. So being able to use both these Pokemons was exciting enough for me. So we are going for this Ice Punch, and let's see. The opponent decides to shield their Jangmo-O, So I think I will not shield here because I will survive it, and I'll get to this another ice punch which will do super effective damage. And Jangmo-O is not, I think it's Hakamo-O if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure why I'm saying Jangmo-O. Jangmo is the first stage evolution. It's very confusing, these new Pokemons for me. So we the idea is to farm down with Machamp, and whatever comes in next, just throw a close combat it. And I made a mistake here that I didn't really know that Toxicroak wins CMP against Shadow Machamp. That was a big mistake from my side. And going for the Sleeve Blade, even though it's resisted again, will do a lot of damage onto this Toxicroak. It's barely not enough to knock out that Toxicroak. So we had to shield this Mud Bomb because everything in this team is so frail. In comes the Heracross. We need. I think this is game over. Had I landed the close combat, maybe in that case we might have won. So picking up the Lucario lead, and my opponent swaps immediately, and I respond by. I think that was a simultaneous swap. I didn't, because if the opponent swaps to Hakamo, like, there was no point in me to swap into Machamp, because Machamp will do massive amount of damage onto that Lucario. So my objective here is to win this matchup so that I am able to align. I will be able to align my Sirfetch'd against that Lucario, because I'm expecting Jangmo-O in the back. So opponent is down 2 shields, and I'll shield this thing and nuke whatever comes in next. So even though it's a Dragon Claw, we will. I think it was worth the shield. So whatever is coming in, it will take a massive amount of damage, and you'll see the first Brave Bird landing onto this Poliwrath, and Poliwrath will just disappear from the surface. So Poliwrath goes down, and we are able to flip that matchup around. And yeah, the Poliwrath will be able to outpace Lucario to a move, and we will be able to take this win as well. So a couple of one-hit KOs in this particular game, and GG's. So moving on to the next one, and we were in a Lucario matchup again, and we make a swap to Machamp. And in this case, in the Lucario lead, I was swapping out to Machamp because Sirfetch'd will be able to do super effective damage against that Lucario. So my intention was to win the secondary matchup, which I think you can either get a shield advantage or the swap advantage when you swap in Machamp, because Machamp just hits really hard. So we are able to flip that matchup around, and this is really crucial because now we are able to pair our Poliwrath against this Toxicroak. And I'm straight away going for the Ice Punch because I want to do as much damage at this Toxicroak as I can, because Sirfetch'd can really hand Lucario in the back with access to the counter which will be doing super effective damage onto the opposing Lucario. My opponent does a brilliant catch on the Lucario, catching the Ice Punch on the Lucario, but still Lucario is so frail it will take huge amount of damage. Lucario does not even get to see a charge move, and I think I just do a BM on my opponent and try to go a Brave Bird. Let's see if we are able to see a Brave Bird landing. Yeah, we are able to see this Brave Bird landing, and it's probably one of the best feeling in playing in GBL. Like right after landing a Draco Meteor on the opposing Dialga from your Dialga, landing a Brave Bird from Sirfetch'd onto something, it's really a bliss for me. So we are going for the Ice Punch onto this Hakamo. It's Hakamo, right? So as I said, we will survive this Dragon Claw, so I don't shield this, and I'm trying to keep both the shields for my Machamp and Sirfetch'd. And yeah, this team in the back really does exert a lot of fast move pressure. So as you can see, I just gave up the switch advantage because I don't feel like switch advantage is really critical here. So we are straight away going for this close combat, and let's see what my opponent decides to do. Rock Slide, there is no particular need to run that. As you can see, the close combat does not knock out the Toxicroak. It requires one counter after the close combat damage. So it's something to really remember about when you're in this matchup. So in comes Lucario, and Lucario will just get deleted with the by the Sirfetch'd. We don't even need to throw a charge move. We can just tap and win this matchup. So Lucario goes down, and this is the reason the matches were really quick, and this is the one where I accidentally went into the Open Great League, and I was like, oh my god, I'm for surely losing this one. I was running triple flyer teams, triple fighting team. We get a negative lead straight away, and I made a very crucial call of not shielding the Shadow Poliwrath. So Scald lands and does massive amount of damage onto this UFisk. So we shield this Mud Bomb, which I particularly was not very excited about, but we will be able to farm this thing down. And in comes Lapras, which is not quite good because Lapras will be resisting all the Poliwrath moves. Anyway, I went for a move just to bait a Dynamic Punch, which I was able to successfully call it. And in comes the Talonflame. So I'm not running Rock Slide, but my opponent does not know that I'm playing in the Fighting Cup and not the Open Great League. So we grab the shield, and this is probably perfect for me because now I can safely let go of Machamp and come in with Poliwrath. Scald down the Talonflame and then Leaf Blade the opposing Lapras. So looking very positive for me. I am a shield up, so I don't need to worry about a charge move coming in from Talonflame. So we will be able to throw this Scald, which is enough to knock out the Talonflame, and the Lapras will come in, forcing them to throw the energy. But at this point, my opponent knows that I'm not running the Dynamic Punch onto the Poliwrath, but I was trying to go for another Brave Bird here unnecessary. But as I said, like I really enjoy landing some Brave Birds onto the opposing Pokemon. So totally overkill and unnecessary, but still, yeah, hey, we are here to enjoy ourselves. So moving on to the next one. This time I pick up the right league, and we are in a Jangmo-O matchup. Not Jangmo again. It's a Kommo-O. So Kommo-O does a bit more damage because it's more on the attack weighted side as compared to Hakamo. And we go for the super effective Ice Punch, which will get shielded. And I think this is where Shadow Poliwrath exerts a bit more pressure as compared to the regular Poliwrath, because it does so much amount of damage. And I think my opponent made a catch there. I wasn't really paying attention. So no, they ended up shielding that, and we are able to waste a lot of my opponent's energy by switching into the Machamp, and Machamp just exerts so much counter pressure. And this was my first time, actually. This is my first set that I am playing, so this was my first what do you call it? First set where I came to know that the Machamp loses CMP to Toxicroak, which was very weird for me, to be honest. So Toxicroak goes down, and in comes the Heracross. So a tough situation for me. I might need to catch a move on my Poliwrath, but the switch timer is still not up, and you can see me furiously tapping on the Poliwrath. And if it's a Mega Horn or close combat, yeah, I cannot win this one. So if I was able to make that swap, I might have been able to win this game. But yeah, it is what it is. Moving on to the next one, we are in a Heracross matchup. So Heracross is doing good amount of counter damage, but it has access to Rock Blast and close combat. So if I don't fall in the bait game, I think I might be able to flip this match around. But as you can see, the counters have done a lot of damage to me, and they end up going for a Rock Blast anyway. So not a very good situation for me to be in. So we go for this Ice Punch. This will be enough to knock them out. So if they want to keep their Heracross, they would have to shield, which they do. And at this stage, I am happy with this setup because I will be able to go for another charge move. So the Ice Punch gets the last shield, which is fine for me. With this team, if you get the shields down with Poliwrath, Sirfetch'd and Machamp can clean up the rest in the background. They just need one shield, which I was able to successfully do for Machamp. So landing this close combat onto this Toxicroak, which will not knock them out, as we can see, but the Toxicroak is forced to throw their energy. So this is perfect for me because now I can start getting ahead on energy with my own Sirfetch'd. And the Heracross is very much very low, so I might need to catch something. Rock Blast, I think my opponent quit the game, so yeah, GG's. Moving on to the next one, picking up Shadow Hitmonchan. So Shadow Hitmonchan is a very good pick for, in my opinion as well, because it has access to the Thunder Punch and Ice Punch as well, which will do super effective damage on the on the two dragons. On the flip side, the advantage of running Hitmonchan over Poliwrath is that you are doing counter damage as compared to the Mudshot, which is basically not doing anything. But Shadow Hitmonchan, I think, is very squishy as compared to Poliwrath. So let's see what my opponent decides to come in with. So they come in with Toxicroak, and will we be able to land another Brave Bird? That's the question. So we are charging up to the Excellent Ant, but we grab the shield. So not really good. And at this point, I let go of my Sirfetch'd, and Poliwrath will come in, and let's see what they decide to do. Building all the way and farming some extra energy because I have a shield, so better use it rather than end up catching or giving my opponent the opportunity to do a sack swap. So farming a bunch of extra energy and going for this Ice Punch, which will be enough to knock out the Toxicroak. So Toxicroak will go down here, and in comes I think, what was that? I didn't really saw that. Was it a Lucario? No, it was a Shadow Machamp, and Shadow Machamp is able to counter down. As I said, the Poliwrath does not exert a lot of pressure, the fast move pressure on the opposing Pokemon. So, was in a Poliwrath mirror matchup, so I flipped. I swapped to my I swapped to my Shadow Machamp. So Shadow Machamp will be able to land this close combat and be able to flip the switch advantage as well, which is very good for me. And we are able to get to this cross job as well. So Shadow Machamp, which is putting in a lot of work there. So Shadow Machamp will get the shield, and this is probably the perfect situation for me because now I'll be able to pair the Sirfetch'd against the Poliwrath, and as opposed to the Poliwrath mirror matchup wherein both of us would have done resisted damage with the charge moves, unless they are running something like a Dynamic Punch. We would have done resisted damage, whereas in this particular matchup we are doing super effective damage with those Leaf Blades and doing some fast move damage as well. So in comes, I think this is Heracross, right? There is something wrong with my display today. So no, it's a Lucario. So even the Lucario is doing the counter damage, which is eventually adding up, but we are generating the energy much quicker. But I think we are gonna get counter down, and but Sirfetch'd come in clutch towards the end and is able to win that matchup by countering down the Lucario. So I think my opponent could have really thrown a charge move there, but they might have feared that I would have snuck in a fast move, and since I had a shield, it was not really worth it. So I think that is what my opponent probably was going for. While playing that matchup, I also was unsure that why they are not throwing the charge move, but maybe that was the reason, because they did not really want to take any extra fast move while trying to go for an additional charge move. So getting a bit of lag. There is something wrong today. So we go for this Ice Punch onto this Heracross. So Heracross decides to let go of the energy, and Heracross goes down. So let's see what my opponent will come back in with. So they come back in with Toxicroak of their own, and we know how this matchup goes. So if Toxicroak shields, it's basically not good for us. So she ended up shielding it this time around, and it's really not good for us now. So let's see how it goes down. So I come in with Sirfetch'd, obviously, and I'll try to farm a bunch of extra energy, but I think it would be advisable to throw the Leaf Blade immediately, so that at least you get the shield, or you get you get a knockout on the Toxicroak, but Toxicroak is able to outpace us to the charge move, and now I'll have to try to catch or something like that, but that really did not happen. So yeah, not turning out to be well for us. The Toxicroak goes for this Mud Bomb, which unfortunately would be enough to knock us out, and yeah, unfortunately, but very well played from my opponent's side. So picking up a Hakamo-O Lead, and we have seen this matchup played like a lot of time now in this video. So the idea is to not shield the Dragon Claw and go for the Ice Punch. And if you time your charge moves correctly, I think you will be able to get to the another Ice Punch. My Poliwrath is a very good IV one, so it may or may not depend on the IVs. I haven't really done a lot of research on this since I played played the fighting up just one day. So again, like the strategy is to grab the shield and swap into Machamp, and here Machamp is in a very favorable spot. So going for this close combat now, and I think this will barely not knock out the Toxic Rogue, but we are able to, we go for both Machamp and Toxic Rogue go down at the same time, and yeah, let's see. So Hakamo-O comes in, and this is a perfect opportunity for a very aggressive farm down. We need to shield. If it's a Lucario in the back, we can simply go for 2 Leaf Blades or a Brave Bird even, I think. And let's see. So Kommo-O decides to come in, and this is going to get blasted away. The dragons are just flying away from the Sirfetch'd. Kommo goes down with the Brave Bird, and it's a wrap. Good game. Moving on to the next one. Again, Hakamo-O Lead. So incoming Machamp against the Hitmonchan. So battle between the 2 Kanto fighters, Machamp and Hitmonchan. So who will come out on the top? Let's see. I think Hitmonchan is able to flip that matchup, but we have a shield advantage with us, and since Hitmonchan also can go for a close combat or a Thunder Punch, I decide to come in with Sirfetch'd, because Sirfetch'd at least will be able to sneak a counter in, which would have knocked out the Hitmonchan. So that was the idea behind coming in with Sirfetch'd instead of Shadow Machamp. Instead of Poliwrath. So Hakamo will go down, and in comes the big brother of the Hakamo-O, Kommo-O, which will be very angry because their baby brother is now dead. So we go for this Ice Punch. Ice Punch is gonna connect and do a lot of damage onto this Kommo-O. Kommo will go for a very aggressive farm down, which they are able to do, and they need to go for they need to land 2 Dragon Claws, one obviously which will get the shield, and the another one would be knocking us out, unfortunately, which it will be. So yeah, very well played from my opponent. Kommo-O decides to take the revenge for her little brother. So GG's. Move on to the next one, another Hakamo-O Lead. So getting a lot of these dragon leads, and I think this is where Poliwrath really comes in handy. And you can run Lucario as well, but as we have seen, Lucario really gets just destroyed by the counter users. So Poliwrath is a very safe bet amongst all the other Pokemons, and I think Poliwrath really works well with this team because Poliwrath can grab those shields very quickly, and then close combat and Brave Bird basically can delete every Pokemon in this particular meta. So in comes the Poliwrath, and I think I can shield this one, to be honest, or we decide to let go. It ends up just being an Ice Punch, so maybe I was counting at the time, it was not enough to be a scald. So going for this Cross Chop will let's see how much damage it will do. Cross Chop is able to knock out the Poliwrath. We have some extra energy with us, so we will be able to go for this close combat, and I think it's a opposing Sneasler. So yeah, Sneasler will take the shield, and in comes the Sirfetch'd. So Sneasler has access to Aerialist, which would be doing a lot of damage, and but they end up baiting us with an X-Scissor, and I didn't really want to take any chance, so I go for this Resisted Leaf Blade. And since Surface is also very attack weighted, I think it will do massive amount of damage, which it is, and able to knock out the Sneasler, and Hakamo just quits the game. So that's it for this particular video, guys. It was a very quick video, and I hope you really enjoyed watching this one. I really enjoyed playing this one, as you would have noticed that by my excitement. It was like getting all those 1-hit KOs is basically my style of playing. I like doing big damage, securing 1-hit KOs. So if you enjoyed watching this one, don't forget to hit the